Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. International breaks are done. They are over until this summer for the Euros. And now it's about just assembling all of that final strengths, final moments of concentration and just squeeze them in 2 months of action, 2 months of football, and then it will be over. It's the final rush. We are still playing for everything apart from the league, and at the same time, in a couple of weeks, we could also be out of everything, which is why it is massively important to restart with the same rhythm, with the same momentum that we left it to when we beat Sassuolo before the international break. And yeah, we've got Lecce on Monday, which is not going to be an easy one. No game is an easy game. And when you face these relegation teams towards the end of the season, they always become the devil's advocate, the devil's best friend. And we need to be very cautious because they're playing at home, and every single point that these teams achieve will be golden for their relegation scrap. But if you're buzzing for club football to be back, I want you to smash the like button. We're back going. Roma's back going. It's Easter weekend. I'm asking 100 likes. Am I asking too much? No, I'm not, because you guys are beasts and you smash every single like target. So 100 likes would be absolutely amazing. We have got, look, I said this last time as well, and I don't think this game is an easy game whatsoever. But if we want to break games into complex and non-complex, and you look at the calendar we have, this is probably the last easier game that we have for the next 1 month and a half, because after this game it's hell. It is hell. We've got games after 3 days: Europa League, Milan, double tie, Derby, Napoli, Atalanta, Bologna. It's going to be mad. So let's just take a breather. Let's get 3 points in a game that we should win, and then just like that we'll prepare the best way possible for this final crazy countdown rush where we need to try and be playing in the Champions League next season. Whether that will be winning the Europa League, which will be very complicated, or qualifying 4th, or even qualifying 5th, I don't care, as long as we play in the Champions League. But I think we can get 4th, maybe even 3rd if Juventus keep on crumbling down. Believe, because football is about believing. Everything in life is about believing, working hard. Enough of me rambling on. Let's speak about this game. I'd like to speak about Lecce, and then I'd like to focus on how we recommence after an intense international break. When I mean intense, not intense games, just, it was an intense schedule, because a lot of our players are Italian, and a lot of these players traveled to the US for 48 hours. So it's gonna have a knock-on effect. But let's focus on Lecce first. Now, Lecce just changed manager from D'Aversa to Gotti. Reason behind that, yes, the club wasn't getting any points and the team wasn't performing, but the trigger cause behind that was actually very surprising, and I actually respect their decision. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter go, nowadays in football, you can't do anything considered extreme, that everything goes against you. And part of that is right, but headbutting a football player just because you don't win a game, coming from a manager who, should set the example for a team, is never a good image. And that is what, in fact, led and exacerbated D'Aversa being sacked. It was Lecce against Verona, I believe. The game ended 1-1. And then when the game ended, D'Aversa was fuming, mad, got onto the pitch and headbutted Henry from Verona. Similar to Zidane, but obviously in a weaker game with less world attention on you. And that led to his sack. They appointed Gotti, which at the start of last season was Udinese's manager. Again, when these little teams sack managers at this stage of the season, they always tend to buy managers and appoint managers who are good and got experience at saving them. I have to be honest, I don't see Lecce going down. I think what will be the cause for Lecce not going down will be the fact that they had a very good start to the season. They had a very good 3 months of football where they were in fact in top 4 for the first 2 months. and then they crumbled down. It was inevitable that the points that they gained at the start are going to come in heavy and handy. But on paper, Lecce don't have a great team at all. Players that we should look up to, and both on a threatening side and both on a transfer market side, if we're interested in a few players, I definitely say that the number one player that I would pick from Lecce to potentially sign for Roma is Lamek Banda. He's unavailable for this game because he's injured, but he's not a bad player. He's fast, he's a winger, he bags the goals and contributions, and he's the winger, kind of a Gervinho style winger that we might come handy in De Rossi formations. But he's not going to be available for this game. In terms of players which I like, obviously Falcone, who once again has released an interview a few days ago, promising himself to Roma in a way, and how he's a Roma fan and his family will probably support Roma in this game and not him. And that he wants this Roma move. With Zvilor playing so well, it can happen. I definitely think the chances were higher a few months ago when Zvilor was unknown. Now that Zvilor is playing so well, you tend to think that we would keep him. But yeah, Falcone always pulls world-class performances against us. Baschirotto in defense is a very tough guy, so Lukaku will have a very interesting battle because they're both massive. It's the scale of both Lukaku and Baschirotto. If you walk at night in a little, hallway and find Lukaku and Baschirotto standing up like this in front of you, you kind of consider dead. They're very big. The battle is going to be big. It's going to be a very physical battle. Almqvist, Swedish national, scored against us in the first leg before that unreal comeback, which saw Azmoun and Lukaku on the score sheet. And then, Banda's unavailable. They've got Piccoli, they've got Kristovic, they've got Uden. Again, they've got the individuals, but they just don't seem to be catching that momentum and playing together. However, at home, they're a different team. They're a different beast, and I expect Lecce wanting at least a point, if not 3 points in this game. They just changed manager, so the hype is going to be big. They just won their last game. They're playing at home, south of Italy. It's going to be a 4 away game. I mean, will it be 4? Yeah, I guess so. Compared to others, it won't be easy at all. And this is where the international break comes in and doesn't help. Because the international break, especially such a useless international break, which was so avoidable, apart from, if you're from Wales, Poland, Ukraine, who was playing the playoffs. Yeah, if you're from those countries, then okay, you need to qualify for the Euros in the final stages. But other than that, it was useless. Number one, injuries. Azmoun got injured, Baldanzi got injured, and a lot of players lost fitness. Number two, I said this last week, but what's the point of flying a 12-hour flight to Florida to play a friendly game against Ecuador, then fly another 4-hour flight from Florida to New York, play a game against Venezuela, and then fly 12-hour plane back to Rome? In the last week, Mancini, Cristante wasn't there, Pellegrini, and all of these players spend half of their time on a plane. Their head is going to be busted. They're going to be out of, jet lag. Of course, the game isn't today. And of course, it won't play a big part. But, you just never know with these things. They're useless things which are just made for money. And international breaks just break the momentum. We were playing so well. We were grinding results. We had only lost one game under De Rossi against one of the best teams in Europe. And this international break came at a time where it's inevitably going to break the rhythm. These players got back training. A lot of these players were injured. So there are going to be difficulties. I don't expect a battering score. I expect us to win. I want us to win, obviously. I expect us to win. But I don't think it's going to be a large scoring game. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going with a 2-0, 2-1. 2-0, 2-1 Roma win. Add those 3 points. Hope that Bologna and Atalanta fall, keep the pressure going, put the intensity, and just make them understand that you're coming for them and that they don't necessarily belong to that 4th spot because we're coming in to budge their way out of it. We need to do that. We need to show them that, and by showing them that, we need to be getting these points. Just, Cristante again released an interview today saying we've lost too many points at the start of the season, that these points come in as crucial. So that's that. Players. Azmoun will be out. Now, we got a lot of injuries back. Smalling is back training with the group. Renato Sanchez got back training with the group. Baldanzi got back training with the group. And Dika. A lot of these injuries that we accumulated in this international break are back. They're resolved. That these players will be available. There are just 2 question marks. No, in fact, one's a question mark, one's an exclamation mark. Azmoun won't start. Azmoun is going to have his checkups today at time of speaking. And apparently, people are estimating a 2-3 week break. Stop. So Azmoun won't be available for this game. The big question mark is Dybala, because Dybala this week half trained with the group and half trained individually, which shows you that he's not 100% ready for this game. So if he's not 100% fit for this game, we shouldn't risk him, because you look at the games we need to play, including a derby, which this time round we need to win. You know, we need these players in this final rush. So if starting Dybala on Sunday means, okay, winning and getting 3 points, but losing him for the next 2 weeks, then absolutely not. If it means resting Dybala and fighting more against Lecce to try and get the win and not relying on Dybala, but having fully back for the derby, Milan, Bologna, then that's the option that we should take. I don't think Dybala is going to start this game. I don't think Dybala is going to play this. Maybe he's going to get subbed in depending on the result. But I don't want to risk him. Let's not risk him. We need him. We are dependent on him still. Yes, I know De Rossi wants to remove this Dybala dependent statement, but unfortunately we still, at time of speaking, are a bit dependent on him. And that Sassuolo game shows you that we are, especially when teams park the bus against us. Keep calm. Don't rush. Game by game. We've got 2 months to go. We have got 2 months of intense action to go, or we'll be playing games over games over games. There is no need to rush Dybala back for a game against Lecce, because we can win this game even with Baldanzi. And then obviously the last player that will be missing this game, not because of an injury, but because of a red card, is Pellegrini. So you see, if you add things up, this game won't be as easy, because you don't have Dybala, you don't have Pellegrini, international break broke momentum, you're playing away from home, Lecce needs points. Add these things up, and this game is going to be a tough, bastard, dark game. But we're used to these games, and we need to avoid falling in the trap of falling and losing points against these teams again. So Pellegrini will not be available. Moving on to the predicted 11. This is it. Svilor in goal. Angelino, Cilic, Mancini and Ndika. Smalling is back, but I think Ndika and Mancini will start. Karsdorp could start, but Cilic, I'm going to always say this, deserves it more than Karsdorp at time of speaking. Angelino more than Spinazzola, for the simple reason being that Spinazzola got that injury against Sassuolo. He's back going, but he might not be fit. And we just need to avoid risking players at this stage. So Angelino starts. 3 midfield, I'm going to go Paredes, Cristante and Aouar. There are rumors saying that the 2 Bs could start this game, Bove and Baldanzi. And I can see it happen. But I also see De Rossi giving Aouar a wake-up call, because he bagged that goal against Fiorentina and had a bad game against Sassuolo. He might be going, right, you played a good game, you played a bad game. Let me start you in this game after you missed the international call-up. So you've been training with me for the past 1 week and a half. Let's see how much you understood. Let's see how much you learned. Let's see at what stage you are. Bove, the mystery on Bove continues. It is weird, because when De Rossi was appointed, I would have sworn an oath on Bove being the most utilized player by De Rossi. But unfortunately, surprise, surprise, he's not. And in attack, I'm going to go El Shaarawy, Baldanzi, Lukaku. Did you hear my stomach? I am hungry. I need to go eat, because I'm about to head to the airport in a bit. But yeah, my stomach is grumbling. Now, I read something very interesting yesterday. which kind of hyped me up a bit because you know how much I love him. You probably understand who I'm speaking about. Yesterday I scrolled on my Instagram and I saw this post which I then reposted going, Tammy Abraham has been training really well. He could have his post-injury debut against Lecce. And that hypes me up because I don't know why, but I connect Tammy to happiness. The fact that he always smiles, he makes me happy. I love Tammy and I want Tammy to play as soon as possible. Do I think he'll start this game? No. But he is training apparently really well. He just needs to get more, he needs to get that coordination back and he needs to build a pattern of playing pattern, momentum playing pattern. So I can see him maybe not start, but get a solid 20 minutes in the derby or against Milan. In this game, it's about calling Tammy, put him on the bench, just like he did against Sassuolo, reorientate him back in the Roma environment, around the players and the pitch. And then if the game goes well, put him in the last 10 minutes, see what he can do. You never know. He might score a winning goal or a decisive goal. Yeah, Tammy's apparently on a very good shape. Again, of course, we can't rely on him much. We've always said this. We're continuing to say this. Don't expect much from somebody who's coming from a broken ACL. But De Rossi really wants to play with a two-striker formation. The Lukaku, Tammy, with Dybala behind them. And I think it can be very fruitful. But not on this game. Again, I don't expect him to start. But if he's playing really well, I expect him to do something. Maybe like 10 minutes. Have a good 10 minutes. See what stage you are. See what the legs tell you. See what the fitness shows you. It's time. Time is ticking for Tammy. Tammy's almost back. Tammy's on the verge of being back. I've said this already, but I think he's gonna have a good playing minutes in the double tie against Milan. That's where I think we'll see Tammy get a good solid, maybe even 30 minutes at home, depending on the results, obviously. But yeah, that's my match preview. I can't wait. Again, another factor is Easter. Hopefully these players won't buff themselves too much because they've got a game the day after Easter. A lot of Serie A teams are playing today, the day before Easter. I think nobody's playing tomorrow, of course. But we've got some interesting games today. Lazio, Juventus. You've got Napoli, Atalanta. A lot of games that we can follow with that back eye, looking at our top four race and what it can bring and how we can differ and start to build a gap from the teams around us. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm going to wish everybody a happy Easter because I'm not going to go live tomorrow. I'm catching a plane in a few hours to Marseille in France. I'll be spending the weekend there. I'll literally be there for 24 hours. So this is a pre-recorded video, of course. I'll be back on Monday. I don't think there will be a live watch along just because the plane literally lands the time the game kicks off. And I don't live really close to the airport. In fact, not close at all. So I'm going to catch you for a match reaction later on Monday evening, but not a live watch along. Enjoy the game. Enjoy Easter if you celebrate it. Of course, spend time with your families. Eat a lot if you like eating because then we're back going. And oh boy, we're back going. Final rush. Final countdown. Bring it on. I'll talk to you soon. As always, if we can get 100 likes on this video, it would be absolutely amazing. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, let me know your predictions and your thoughts on my predicted 11 and my overall match preview in the comments below. And talk to you very, very soon. See you all out.